Hello and welcome to another episode of the After Work Anime Club podcast. I am your main host, Luulu Soul, and joining me today is...
Hello, yes, distracted shark. Much shark, such distraction. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
All right, at the time of recording this podcast, we are still in 2024, and we are about to jump into the 2025 winter anime season. And now, normally when we do this in the past, the Anime After Work Club podcast has tried to go through every single anime in the season, pick out the ones that we think are interesting, and pretty much ignore the ones that we think aren't.
Yeah,
and
most.
That's a long, and semi-exhausting process, and there are a lot of other anime channels out there all doing the exact same thing. That's not what we're doing today. Can you...
Oh, you want to talk about cozy?
I do want to talk about cozy things. Yes. So what we've done is we've gone through the season ahead of time. Okay, I've gone through the season ahead of time, and then I barrel rolled Sharkington into joining me for this. And I've picked out anime that I like to consider cozy or slow life anime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are going to be anime that depicts an episodic day-to-day life. It's meant for relaxation and comfort, low stakes, soothing music, relaxing plot. If it's an isekai, it's where the main character cooks, gardens, runs a small business, or it's cute girls doing cute things, or it's exhausted characters just relaxing. In the past, Shark, you and I, we've gotten really into some cozy anime.
Some were surprisingly good. Some we didn't finish.
I'm pretty sure Reincarnated as a Vending Machine was supposed to be a cozy anime. We did not finish that one.
We didn't even get to episode 2.
Really? We maybe I should go back and take a look.
I don't even think we got past episode 1.
We might not have been in the mood for cozy anime at that time.
It's in a video.
But we did get either almost all the way through or fairly into Campfire Cooking in Another World.
We finished Campfire Cooking.
And up here on the wall is one that I need to finish and haven't, but you have finished, and that is Frieren.
Frieren.
I would argue that Frieren probably put cozy anime on the map with how it just burst into the anime scene.
And the wild thing is that, like, Frieren is cozy sometimes, and sometimes it's not.
Really? Like I said, I've only seen like the first little bit of it, so admittedly.
Frieren is very slow. It takes its time. It works through things at its own pace, which is kind of the whole point, as you're following the timeline of a ancient elf who doesn't really understand the lives of humans. That's kind of like the whole thing of it. I really need to sit down and get you to watch more than just an episode.
You're right. I mean, I've read more than just an episode, but I've only seen about an episode. And the anime was so true to the chapters I had read, I felt like I was just watching something I had just read. So it was... But Frieren is from another time frame long ago, back in 2024. So I guess that's still this time frame, but it's not the 2025 winter anime season. So I have prepared for us 4 anime that I am pretty sure meet the criteria, one or all of the criteria that I listed earlier. And we're just going to kind of go through it and give our thoughts on whether or not it looks like it'll be interesting, whether or not we're going to watch it, and whether or not it's going to just look absolutely awful.
I mean, I hate to say it, but for a lot of anime for me, it is just, I'm not interested.
I'm the opposite. Like, I tend to like a lot of different animes that span across. But that's also one of the reasons I'm doing these multi-genre or multi-video genre episodes, because we've got this one coming out a little bit later. I'll have a romance anime style coming out. And then I think I want to do a battle style anime, and then maybe one more video. But eventually it'll encompass most of the anime coming out in winter 2025, just in, smaller chunks.
Can you do a light novel section?
I thought about it, but the light novel stuff honestly like crosses over and dips into some of the other genres I mentioned. Same thing with isekai, because originally I was just going to do isekai. But then it's like, well, if I do isekai, do I add regression anime? That's sometimes, but not always an isekai.
Yeah.
A lot of light novels are isekai. Some light novels are not isekai. Like, it's just so...
Listen, I'm just saying that, like, very quickly scrolling through the season, I'm seeing things that were definitely a light novel.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of light novel adaptations this season.
And I guess the biggest thing to just say, "Hey, that's probably a light novel," is how long is the title?
Okay, I actually have a reasoning for that. Give me one moment. Okay, so I think the whole thing with the really super omega long light novel titles, and we might have talked about this before, but they are basically hashtags.
Yeah.
Like the you put everything that your story could possibly have in it into the title so that when people do a search for whatever it is they're looking for, it pops up with your title.
Yeah.
I hate
It's,
it.
and it's trying to get attention in the mass market of light novels.
Right. The same thing happens if you go to Etsy, and I think it started happening like on Amazon too. A lot of item listings are done in a very similar way.
Mhm.
And I hate it. I hate it so much. Look, I want to name the crochet penguin I made Fred. I even Fred the penguin. I do not want to name the crochet penguin I made Crochet Penguin Toy Stuffed Animal for Boys, Girls, and Dogs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, this is going to be a mini episode because we are not talking about the topic.
I mean, so it's a normal day for us.
Correct. This is going to be a mini episode of us talking about light novels.
All right. I mean, that could almost be a short right there.
Yeah, it really could. But anyway, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we are going to start with one of the 4 anime that now, for the record, I haven't even watched trailers for these. I've looked at the description, I've looked at the name, and I've looked at the picture, and I have decided from those 3 things if this is going to be a cozy anime or not. There's actually one that I want to talk about as a bonus at the end of this podcast that almost made my list, but I think I'm wrong on that one.
All right. I got to be honest. I looked at one of these and it does not sound cozy.
I have reasons for each one, and I am willing to explain them. But let's start with that one. Which one is it?
The 40 Otoko no Isekai Tesan, middle-aged shopper.
The daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. Okay, here, give me your. Okay, so why do you think this is not going to be cozy?
Kenichi, a single man in his 40s, is transported into another world for no apparent reason as he tries to escape a dangerous forest teeming with monsters.
I mean, that's the opening. He realizes he has the power to access a huge online store.
It's Amazon. They literally use Jeff Bezos later in the description. Thank you, Amazon.
They do. By using this power to exchange goods he found in this new world for cash, and then buying modern ones off the internet, he was able to quickly create a very popular business. However, his goal is to have a slow and leisurely life. Instead of growing his business even more, he decides to settle down and live off of the power of Jeff Bezos. The mail order life of a middle-aged man in other world begins now.
I mean, Campfire Cooking basically did this.
Yeah, Campfire Cooking was very, very similar to this.
Just wanted to run a shop and was selling modern salt and pepper to medieval people.
But for Campfire Cooking, he's almost going on like an adventure and on a journey. This one, it sounds like he's settling down in a brick and mortar like small business store location.
I also see a backhoe.
A what?
In the picture, the blue bucket thing in the top left.
Yeah, what is that?
That's part of a backhoe. It's a vehicle used for digging.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I am guessing that this anime is going to be like a mixture of Campfire Cooking in another world and Farming Life in another world.
Which Farming Life in another world?
The one is there more than one?
God, yeah, there really is.
What? The one where he starts a garden and ends up getting a bunch of waifus, except there's only one main waifu, but everybody wants him. And
okay, that one.
How is there more than one?
What are you talking about? This is Isekai.
What is
of course,
the other one?
So, Farming Life in Another World is the one you're talking about. It's on High Dive. I actually watched the almost entire first season. That was genuinely very fun. It was very cozy.
Yeah.
Especially since there were so many waifus that wanted him badly, and it never happened to my knowledge.
So what's the other
one? I want to point out that I typed Farming in Another World into my anime list, and the first one is not that show. It's a different one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's Cheat Mode Farming in Another World.
Well, that's completely different.
Yeah, it isn't actually at all.
Anyway, this one has a start for the daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world, has a start date of January 9th. The platform is going to be on Crunchyroll. By the way, I searched out the platform for all of these because finding them is sometimes super obnoxious.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a slow-paced, very campfire cooking, and that, he's got the online shopping business, but very farming life because it's going to be focusing a little bit more on him running the shop and then just accumulating repeat customers as well as a staff that are obviously all going to be absolutely gorgeous women who are in love with him.
Except for the blue-haired one, which appears to be some kind of child.
That has never stopped anime before.
Well, that could be a child relationship instead of, a waifu.
I hope
That
so.
Yeah, adopting them as a child for clarity.
That has been a lot more common lately of the adoption of children in these anime.
Hey
Though
man, reincarnated as a sword did it.
would you call that one? That one's not cozy. That one's more of an
That one is not cozy at all.
adventure, right?
That's action adventure, high stakes combat.
Yeah. But it's not quite a battle anime, so adventure.
No, but it is very fun.
I need to
I
go back
highly recommend it.
Need to go back to it. Anyway, this one, yeah, I do see the child. Though if this were when we were growing up on anime, it would probably be more of a brother-sister relationship because that happened a lot.
He's 40 though.
That's true. We are having more older protagonists, so it's probably as the adoption of small child.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying it's specific. They specifically say that he's in his 40s.
I see what looks like a cat girl, two cat girls. The other cat girl has a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I'm starting to think this man is bringing modern technology into a fantasy world between that and the backhoe.
Yeah, I mean, that explains quite a few things.
With the power of Amazon.
With the power of Jeff Bezos.
Which feels kind of icky to say right now.
Right. But, what are we going to do? So that's what I think this one is. I do think this one is going to be cozy. I also think it's going to be fun, but I'm going to guess right away that the animation quality is going to be mediocre.
I mean, you could watch the trailer.
I could watch the trailer.
Which I'm doing right now.
Fine, I'll watch the trailer. Okay, I have watched the trailer. The trailer does not look cozy at all.
It doesn't at all. I have things I want to say. I assume we're recording.
We are recording, yeah.
Okay. I just need to check on something real fast. I don't like that.
What don't you like?
Okay, so when it flashes through each of the characters, it has a little thing pop up.
Okay.
Like for the first girl, it's business person.
Yeah.
For the definitely looks like a child, it says pretty girl.
Well,
I don't like that.
We'll have to see.
The other more actual thing is just in the nicest way possible, these character designs are really boring.
Look, I didn't say these were anime picked because I think they'll be good. These are anime picked
No,
because
I
I
get
think
it.
they'll be cozy.
They look very generic.
They do.
I don't know how else to express it.
They look like insert light novel characters here and insert light. Yeah. Though apparently this is adapted from a manga, not a light. Yeah, source manga. It is also has the genre of fantasy and ecchi and harem and isekai as themes. Oh, and
yeah, I could have told you most of that.
Why is it a shonen?
Also, the manga version of him looks so much younger. Oh my god.
That might just have been a bad. No, you're right.
He looks so much younger. Oh my god. He lost 10 to 15 years.
Well,
That's a dude in his late 20s, early 30s at most. That's really funny.
Either way, I'm sticking with my gums. If we decide to review this one, we'll go over how wrong I might have been.
Listen, I'm down to watch, an episode or two and see how we feel about it.
I am going to stick to my declaration that I don't think the animation quality is going to be very good.
We'll see. It looked all right in the trailer, but trailers are designed to get you to watch things.
True. And when I say not very good, I should clarify a little bit. There has been an influx of anime that have gotten very simplistic animation, almost like you're watching the manga as opposed to watching an anime.
That was a consistent complaint I heard about the second season of Blue Lock.
Oh, did that happen to Blue Lock? That's sad.
Yeah, it was I think it was a Garnt video.
That would make sense. But so the reason I think this is happening is because a lot of web novels or web manga, manhwas, webtoons, etc. are getting animations now to advertise their comics, which is adding even more anime to the sphere. But these aren't really intended to be anime that stand the test of time. These are meant as miniature advertisements. You get a season of it and then you go and read the comic because the season doesn't solve anything.
Yeah.
Which is fine. One of my favorite manhwa, True Beauty, was done in that fashion. And you know what? I still watched it. And if they continue it, I'll continue watching it because they made some changes that were kind of cool.
I mean, there's a webcomic that I enjoyed quite a bit that is getting its second season in winter 2025.
Yeah, it's Solo Leveling.
Yeah, Solo Leveling.
You know what?
Incredibly good webcomic.
I'm gonna give the anime another try.
Please do and let me know.
I only got, an episode into it.
The first 2 episodes are kind of rough.
So that's going to wrap up the daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. The next one we're going to go into is one that almost didn't make this list, but I put it on here at the last minute. And that is I'm Living with an Otaku Neat Kunoichi.
Okay, hold on. I can see which one that is. Oh, the description just cuts off.
So this one is also a manga adaptation, and it is going to be on High Dive, and it'll be releasing on January 5th. Now, this is the summary that Crunchyroll gave. A normal salaryman, Tsukasa, is attacked by a yeoman and is gallantly saved by the appearance of genius Kunoichi Shizuri. However, when she's not working, she becomes an otaku neat. Today, Tsukasa's house husband skills will continue to spoil Shizuri, a prescription delivered directly to you. What I wrote down, normal salaryman ends up working as a house husband for a neat ninja girl.
I mean, that is basically what was said. I immediately made a realization that's really funny to me.
What is that?
So if you click on the picture of the Sue, it will show you alternate pictures, and one of them is very clearly someone who is in defeat.
Oh my, you're not wrong.
I'm sorry for what I've done. I'm not.
So at first, this, like I said, this almost didn't make the list because the art style comes across very ecchi. It's got ninjas in it, et cetera, et cetera. However, it has some key words here, such as house husband, salaryman, and the fact that she becomes an otaku neat. And then if you look down in the additional information, it has a duration of 15 minutes per episode.
Oh, interesting. So they're short ones.
Right. So this, I'm going to assume, is going to fall under the category of exhausted worker comes home and then gets pampered. Though it's the salary man. Oh, she is absolutely getting pampered. And apparently he gets to see her feet, I'm guessing. I do think
off that imagery, I don't know what to tell you.
I do think it's going to be very ecchi. Again, I have not looked at the trailer. I'll look at the trailer in a minute to see if I'm right. I do think it's going to be very ecchi. I think the animation is actually going to be pretty good, surprisingly.
I'm definitely not watching the trailer right now.
You're definitely not watching the trailer right now.
I have to say the animation looks pretty stiff.
Really? Okay, so I'm going to go watch the trailer then.
Okay.
And now I've watched the trailer. Okay, so animation, not going to be top tier like I guessed.
Okay, so there's a specific thing that was pointed out to me when it comes to animation stuff that, like, I didn't notice for a really long time, but, like, once it was pointed out, it was like, oh, yeah. The only thing that moves on the characters' faces when they talk is their mouth. No other part of their face animates at all.
I mean, could you not call out my characters in the podcast?
Yeah, but, like, that's a specific, like, thing. This isn't animated.
No, this is not.
This is not an anime. This is us moving from one image to a second image because we're speaking.
I mean, that's basically what they're doing there. There's just a little bit more there are a few more images in between.
Yeah, that's not great.
Okay, so maybe I should have watched the trailer for some of these beforehand. But
I mean, it's funnier like this.
Like the first one, I'm sticking to my guns. I think this is going to be a cozy anime. I do think it's also going to be a funny anime, though.
It does look very silly.
I do think maybe there isn't going to be quite as much pampering as I thought. I don't know. No. I'm sticking to my guns. Cozy, pampering. I will go back on the animation, but cozy and pampering. Those are my two criteria for this.
Okay.
Yes, we have 2 more.
Yeah, I know.
All right, do you want to pick one of the last 2?
No, you can just keep going.
Okay. Well, the next one, Okitsura fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I know what she's saying. That is one of the worst titles I've ever seen.
I feel like it's better in Japanese, but like the translation's not great.
Yeah, which is hilarious because it's an anime about not being able to understand someone's dialect.
Which is a weird anime.
Right?
It's It's a weird premise.
And again, so the actual synopsis is I, Teraki Nakamura, transferred to Okinawa and fell in love with a girl, but I can't understand her dialect. Thankfully, Higa-san is always helping me out with translations. A cross-cultural romance that's a wee bit different begins on the southern island. I wrote, male lead transfers to Okinawa and falls in love with a girl he can't understand.
Yeah.
This has a start date of January 5th, is also on Crunchyroll, and it is a comedy/romance genre. I think this anime is going to show us a lot of tourist style cultural stuff specifically for Okinawa.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to have a lot of small gags and misinformation. Like he'll think she's saying one thing, but she was actually saying something else.
Standard stuff.
And I think it's going to be fairly cute and lighthearted. And that's why I think it's going to be cozy. I think it's going to be very episodic, day-to-day, small gags, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're going to go and watch the trailer to see if I was anywhere near right.
Okay.
Trash. He's trash. He's utter and complete and total garbage.
Okay.
It looks like this man, this child, has fallen in love with one girl while he's got another girl who is head over heels in love with him, and he is using her feelings to get to her friend.
I don't think that's happening, but I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. It's either going to be a chaos love story that makes me very angry and he's trash, or it's going to be a lovely little cute cozy anime about Okinawa and childhood love.
So wait, you're upset because he has feelings for one girl, but the other girl has feelings for him, and instead of giving up the feelings that he has for the one girl and pursuing the one who obviously has feelings for him, he's not doing that.
No, I'm upset because he's trash.
Yeah, but you're not explaining it very well.
So from the trailer that I just watched, it looks like he meets the brown-haired girl.
Uh-huh.
And he falls in love with her because she is super cute and adorable and has no romantic feelings for him whatsoever. But cute and adorable girl is cute and adorable. And her best friend falls in love with him, and she has been helping him translate for her, which means he is being friends with the girl that likes him to get to the girl that he likes. And that's why he's trash.
What? No, I didn't get that at all. Also, we didn't understand a single word they said because there's no subtitles.
A lot has been depicted in images alone.
A lot has been interpreted solely based off imagery.
He's trash.
It's going to be really funny if that's just completely wrong.
Right? So we're just going to need to do catch-ups on some of these just by my guesses alone.
Jesus Christ. You really just came with a whole narrative based off just some pictures.
It's what I do. It's who I am.
That doesn't mean it's healthy.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, but they were speaking words.
Also, one of the themes in this is love polygon. What does that even mean?
What? Where do you see that?
If you go under information, it's got episode status, blah, 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 and you scroll down, it says genres, comedy, romance, themes, love polygon, and school.
Well, sword art is the very first thing under love polygon.
Yeah, and you know who's also trash?
Yeah, but that's for an entirely different reason. But Toradora is also under here, and that's supposed to be pretty good.
Toradora is supposed to be really good.
Fruits Basket is under here.
No! How dare!
Inuyasha is under here.
That makes sense because Inuyasha is also trash.
I thought you liked that.
I do. I love that anime very much. But I meant Inuyasha specifically, the character. He is trash. At least until he gets his head out of his ass.
Well, yeah, but isn't that the whole thing?
Depends on what plot point you're paying attention to.
That's fair. It appears that Love Polygon is Love Triangle, but worse.
That makes sense.
Love Triangle wasn't enough. We needed more sides.
It's another way of saying harem, I guess, sort of. No, because harem is all the girls like one guy or all the guys like one girl. A polygon would be I like you, but you like this other person, that other person likes me.
So what I'm hearing is, as usual, polyamory would solve this problem.
Unless one of the characters are trash.
Anyways.
So we have one more anime left, and that one is Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. This one has a start date of January 10th. It is also on Crunchyroll, and it's signed up as a comedy supernatural. The Crunchyroll synopsis says, Kazuhiro Kitase's only hobby is sleeping. Ever since he was young, he would enter a wondrous world within his dreams and go on thrilling adventures. One day, he goes on an adventure with an elf girl he became friends with in his dream world. But it's put to an abrupt halt when they both get scorched by a dragon's breath. As he wakes up from his dream, he notices a familiar figure sleeping next to him. The elf girl from his dreams! Join Kazuhiro in his new adventures through Japan with Miss Elf.
So he isekai'd in his dreams and then grabbed someone and reverse isekai'd them.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I wrote down, male lead wakes up to find an elf from his dreams in his room. He shows her Japan.
Huh, this is interesting.
I
No, I'm
haven't.
watching the trailer.
Oh, you are? Okay, we're gonna pause real quick. No. I gotta do my guesses first. I'm guessing
Okay.
this is going to be likely a slow burn romance type thing, but it's also gonna have gags, and this one is also going to be used as a tourist attraction for Japan, where they visit a lot of like tourist spots, and you learn about Japanese culture and stuff.
I also think there will be a lot of reoccurring gags of, hey, the modern world is a lot more advanced.
Yeah. Oh my god, running water. Okay, we're gonna watch the trailer. See if someone's trash in this one. All right, we've watched the trailer. I may only be half right with this one. I think it might be half cozy, half adventure.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, because there's like a good chunk of this that's like, yeah, we're in modern Japan, we're hanging out. There's also parts of this where, oh god, we're doing adventures and things and dungeoneering, and it's like interesting. Also, I'm pretty sure that dragon also gets dragged into reality.
But from the opening picture, I would agree with you. Once again, though, I am sticking to my guns. I'm calling this a cozy fantasy, supernatural, whatever. It's a cozy anime. It's going to have a lot of stuff about Japan and Japanese culture, but maybe it is going to be a little more impactful than I was expecting.
Of the four of them, this is the one I'm the most interested in.
I would agree with that, yeah. Which is funny because when I was originally like writing the list down, I was expecting this to be the least interesting.
Yeah, well,
But you know, this goes to show you cannot judge an anime by its description. And once we start watching it, we'll find out if you can judge it by its trailer.
I think the interesting thing is that this is almost like an inversion of the first one we talked about. Of instead of like modern person gets put into fantasy world and starts introducing, modern concepts, this is fantasy character gets brought into modern world. But this one just looks genuinely more interesting.
It really does. Now, that was the 4 that I had written down as anime that I believe are going to be cozy this winter season. Now it's time for the bonus one that almost made the list, but then I took it off at the last minute because I don't think it's actually going to be cozy at all. And that is Sakamoto Days.
I've heard a lot about this.
I've heard a lot of good things about the manga, and I believe people are really excited for this anime.
It's very popular. I've heard about it a lot, but I haven't actually heard like specific things about it.
Right? I know it's a Shonen Jump anime, or manga, whichever you want to call it. And in the synopsis, now I'm going to read the part of the synopsis that made me think, okay, this is going to be a slow life cozy anime. Taru Sakamoto was considered the greatest hitman of all time. Feared by many, he stood at the top of the underground world until he met and fell in love with a woman. As a result, Sakamoto abandoned his life of crime and now works as a convenience store clerk, which made me think, what was it? The House Husband anime?
Yeah.
And that one is absolutely cozy and absolutely adorable, and I love it to pieces.
I have to say, very loosely used the term anime for that one.
Well, yeah, that's another one of the ones that's like, it's not really like strongly animated. This is meant to advertise the manga.
Yeah.
But still.
But like that one isn't really trying to be anything more than that.
No.
And that's fine.
It's relying on what it's got going for it. But then I continued reading it. Leaving his shady past behind proves to be more difficult than Sakamoto initially imagined. Many of his former rivals and partners do not believe that he has truly left the business and show up in hopes of taking him out. Barred from killing, Sakamoto must find creative ways to subdue his enemies and prevent them from bringing harm to his family, his store, and the small town he resides in.
I have to say, because I watched the trailer, the first half of it really feels like slice of life, silly, haha. And the second half of it is very much just, I see.
I changed to this is probably a battle anime. I've not watched the trailer, so I'm going to do that right now. What did I just watch?
What?
That thing changed genre like 3 times, and the main character is not who I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, it's the big guy.
It's the big guy, which there's nothing wrong with that. He still looks awesome, but he's not the character that I thought was going to be. I thought it was going to be the blonde dude.
No, it's very much the big guy. I think the blonde dude's like a secondary protagonist.
Yeah, like he's the
like the pupil almost.
Yeah, he's probably the character that whose eyes the audience views through.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what to expect from this anime except that I am going to be watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Themes, adult cast, organized crime. You know what? I'm glad I took it off the cozy list. That being said, those are the 4 anime plus the 1 bonus anime that I took off for anime that I think will be the closest to the cozy genre for the winter 2025 season. Did you see any others that you think I might have been wrong about and should be on this list?
I mean, like, anything is just, like, me going off the my anime list, like, skimming. So, like, it's hard to have any, like, specific ones that would be, like, cozy. No, I'm just gonna stick with those. This isn't a genre I usually, like, go into on my own.
This is the genre that you and I usually end up, like, stumbling into and liking by accident.
Yeah, it's usually we got pulled into it because of, like, something we were doing the 3-episode rule or some YouTuber or something was talking about it, and then it was just like, "Oh, hey, this is actually really good. Let's just keep watching this."
I think one of the first ones that happened with it was an isekai, but the isekai revolved around this tavern that people would stumble into and just eat.
Oh, yeah, Izakaya.
Yeah, that one. Oh yeah, how could I forget that?
Yeah, it's I showed it to you.
Yeah, you did.
I watched all of it.
It was very, very nice and very cute.
They were short 10-minute episodes. In the second half, or in the last 5 minutes, they would either take you to a restaurant or just tell you how to make a food.
Another one that I fell in love with that I don't think you enjoyed too much was something witch. I don't remember the name of it anymore.
Fell in love with, cannot remember name.
Cannot remember the name. But anyway, those are the 4 for this season, plus the bonus. That's kind of all we have of this episode. Maybe we will come back in the future of top anime that we consider to be cozy anime.
Or we could just, like, come back after all of these have come out and be like, "All right, so here's the vibes."
So what you're saying is there might be a fair amount of content coming out on YouTube for our channel.
Our channel?
My channel that you are a guest in a lot, so it's our channel.
I mean, yeah, as long as you keep editing.
You gotta talk about that. Why you gotta bring up old stuff?
Listen, it's not up to me.
Anyway, this has been the After Work Anime Club podcast. I have been Lulu Soul. I have been joined by...
Hello, yes, Distracted Shark. Don't mind me, it's my job to bully.
We're running away now.
Bye.